here for several years, so I knew the place a little bit, but never, of course, as much as you know, coming in as the CEO and having to learn what this institution is really all about. Before I started, I actually joined one of Lynn Cutter's and build really a culture of learning for young preschoolers. So I spent a lot of my career there, nearly 20 years, 12 years as the CEO, not only domestically, but building Sesame Street as an international engagement, building indigenous productions around the world, from China to India to Mexico, Brazil, Indonesia, and everywhere else. A few years ago, I was asked to jump into another educational venture across town, as Tara mentioned, National Public Radio, which to me is using media to educate as well. Maybe it's adult education, but it was really about the world that we live in and trying to give some context to the world that we live in and trying to sort out from the fire hose of information a daily context to our news. And I know I'm sure a lot of you are regular listeners to WAMU. I will not hit you up for a pledge premium today, but it is important to remember that there are 30 Geographic channel. We also got a lot of themes coming out of this. There were 3 themes that really popped out. Too many silos in the organization. Collaboration was optional. They wanted me, of course, to improve and refine our digital strategy, which every media organization is struggling with right now, as you're hearing about through probably the largest disruption in history. Understand? As an organizing principle for the organization. So I created a Chief Science and Exploration Officer, a Chief Media Officer, whose job is to illuminate science and exploration and adventure and travel around the world. And teaching, a Chief Education Officer, because I had felt that we'd underpunched our weight a little bit in using the assets of this institution. When you think about the digital library and the assets that we have really chronicling the last 100+ years of the history of our world, the natural history of our world, and the human